So we've got the Bundesliga team of the season. We are splitting them up because I just feel like it is a little bit easier to focus on one team at a time. We've got the Bundesliga today and we'll have the Super League tomorrow. And then in the midweek, we'll kind of go over the best team of the seasons we've got because there's a lot that are just going to come in a little bit lower. And that's just natural. When you've got a team like this, you've got to have some lower team of the seasons, otherwise you just won't pack any. And to be honest, after yesterday's daily content, I didn't pack many anyway. I think I got one in general and I got this guy. It is just what it is, to be honest. But in general, we have got a lot of top-end talent and also some good mid-talent as well. The first person I want to go to is Guriassi. Very, very nice card indeed. Now coming in at 154. He was at about 220 yesterday. Fantastic card. Very much kind of like a Haaland, but without necessarily the quick step. He's got the low driven instead of the power shot. Dribbling wise, not necessarily the greatest, but it's still good enough. Most definitely going through on goal. He, for me, is kind of one of them cheaper beasts, and he will definitely be linked up with Hugo. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Now, obviously, he's got a last name. I don't know how you pronounce the last name, but you have got the French striker who is very much a Haaland-esque type. He's coming in at 6'2". He obviously does have the rapid plus. He's got the finesse shot as well, which is the kind of extra. Now at 280, was at 400. They are starting to come down nicely, which I think is kind of the big advantage with the later team of the seasons. We already have a solid basis. Some people will have had somebody from the Ligue 1 that is absolutely incredible. You could have got a João Neves, a Vitinha, to be honest, a Barcola. Then you throw in the Prem. You could have then got a Salah. You could have got a Haaland, an Isaac, even Bruno, to be fair, 48,000. He was ecstatic for the price that you got him at. A Gravenberch, an incredible midfielder. Meaning that you don't need as much as you're going into the Bundesliga team of the season. Yes, you've got some incredible talents across the board. You've obviously got the likes of Kane coming in at the top spot. To be honest, it's exactly what this card has needed. It puts him, for me, at the absolute pinnacle. This is a top end striker. Finesse, low driven, fantastic. First touch, I will take it. Incisive, kind of gives him that Cam vibe a little bit more, but that is kind of how he is as a striker. He's an assisting, goal scoring, maybe not necessarily blistering pace striker, but in the game, that's going to still be possible. He's got the 92 pace, the 99 shooting. Obviously, composure is absolutely maxed out. Some decent passing, some decent physicality. This is a striker you want in your team, and most definitely will put himself at the absolute top of the top. Now, kind of coming up next to him that I think has been due a massive upgrade is Elise. He has been mentioned in every single evolution I have seen that involves a right mid since this Thunderstruck came out. We literally have now seen another upgrade for him, which obviously can be put in to make him into a 94 if you really wanted to. You've got the Kuba's ladder. If you go obviously with this one, you can go into that side and make him into a 94, which, to be fair, isn't too far off the upgrade, but realistically, you're looking at the rapid, the finesse at the minimum. You do get the technical finesse in this one, but you still got the trickster, which is not necessarily the big thing for me. This is kind of the combination that I'm looking at, to be honest. This has a lot of potential. You've obviously got the quick step, which is a fantastic one. The finesse is there, and the first touch. It's an interesting one to see the difference. Pace is the same, 4 better shooting. Could you potentially do the Kuba's ladder if you've got this version and be alright, to be honest? And I think you could. I really think you could. Now, obviously, in terms of potential of this card, I think he's absolutely number one as well. We very rarely see many right wings that go to that absolute top. Salah was a big one last week. I think Barcola and obviously Dembele were your Ligue 1 players, but Dembele being a striker slash right wing, we were kind of utilising him anywhere really. Without a Kvaratskhelia, that could have been another one that could have been added to that winger circle. But also we have got it's obviously Wirtz. I can't remember what is his first name. Yes. In terms of the 96, incisive, tiki-taka, low-driven. He's going to be a massive comparison in between him and also Musiala. Obviously, Musiala coming out with the quadruple, so I am surprised we have got more of a price on Wirtz than we do Musiala. If we do the comparison, as to be honest, unfortunately for them both, they have both been compared for a long, long time. Now, obviously, the first comparison, the 5-5 versus the 5-4, it's in his favour. We then go to the pace. Obviously, Musiala wins it. Shooting wise, Musiala wins it. Passing most definitely goes to Wirtz. Dribbling, I must admit, it's technically Musiala, but they're both very close. Defending Musiala, which they're okay with, and then physicality, both very, very similar. If you go into the depths of it and see what's the actual difference, obviously you'll see that the pace and shooting goes to Musiala, and then to be honest, it goes massively in his favour there, to be fair. Obviously then the dribbling goes down, we've got more composure by 1 on Wirtz. Agility balance is massively Musiala, and then we go into the rest of it, and to be honest, unless you're going for the playstyle pluses, like let's be real, if we're looking at them, the first touch is an extra. We'll throw that in as an extra for Musiala. We then have the technical for Musiala versus, say, the low driven, because we don't have any shooting on Musiala in general. That's going to be a 1-up Wirtz. Incisive versus, say, the pinged pass. To be honest, I feel like a lot of people prefer either. Incisive is one of my personal favourites, but pinged pass works fantastic as well, and both of them have the tiki-taka. So, unless it's in-game or just packability, I am surprised that there's so much a discrepancy between the prices. Now, I get maybe a couple of 100k, maybe one's just harder to get, that's fair enough, but Wirtz is most definitely taking the storm on this one, and I must admit, I'm all here for it. It's a very interesting one to go with. I do think when you do look at the in-game stats and look at what's more important for these players, I would definitely side with a Wirtz. Now, I do think both of them, you thought I was going to go for the price then. I do think both of them are exceptional in their position. They both have exactly what you need. Dribbling for a cam, shooting for a cam. Even without the playstyle plus, we've seen many do it, but mainly having the passing attributes, pace, bit of passing on them as well as shooting. They're both very much in that top end for me. Which does lead a lot of kind of bottom players as well. Unfortunately, when we do look at them, yes, they might have some extra ability in them. Like realistically, the 17 key players from Auburn, it's got intercept, slide tackle, bruiser, some decent stats, defending all of them. They're there. They are usable. I don't think there is many team of the seasons. It's a hard one. You're not going to use all of them. Like, I got this striker. I am categorically not going to use him. But if you are brand new to the game, starting it out, I mean, it's not a bad card to start with. It puts them at a certain level. Yes, he is going to be worse than Kane. He's going to be worse than Hugo. He's going to be worse than Guriassi. But he's not a total rubbish. You are not going to be able to play with him in Division 10, Division 8 as you go up the ranks. So it is kind of one of them that you've got to think, who is going to be the miss, and maybe where do you stand? Do you go for anybody Division 5 and above? Because realistically, most of these won't be in the Division 5 or above. So if I was going in mind with that, if we go with a lot of these players, I'm thinking you obviously go with that striker, the 92. Unfortunately, is a miss. To be fair, if he did have a rapid or something like that, that could actually have been a really nice card with the finesse, the rapid, maybe even an aerial or press proven. It would have worked really well, but unfortunately, it just isn't going to be the one. In general, we're going to look at the rest. I'm going to go into the bottom. Auburn, I mean, you could get a bit of usability out of Auburn. I think he's a bit more of a name that's established in there. Same as Hincape at a 94. I like him. Anticipate. Long ball, but he's got the aerial still. He's got a bit of pace, defending, physical. This the standard. You're not necessarily going to have to go too crazy in there. And I think that is everybody that I would personally go up and down. Keepers will have a discussion in a second. Schlotterbeck is actually another one. 120. Obviously coming in with the pinged pass, the anticipate, and also the slide tackle. I don't think he's a very usable centre-back. I think there was chances. I do think he had an upgrade too soon. The Dream Chasers, and I get they had to give some players Dream Chasers, but I don't really think they needed this promo, to be honest. I think it was far too close to Team of the Season. Obviously, you've got the Foot Immortals, which obviously took the break for Icons. But what I personally would have done, because they didn't really give that many heroes, I'd have scrapped the Dream Chasers, done a Heroes promo, then into an Immortals Icon promo. Even if you did 1 week or 2 weeks, would it be 2 weeks? I suppose, yeah. 2 weeks of Heroes. Foot Immortal Heroes, then Foot Immortal Icons following, then into Team of the Season. Because I must admit, the Dream Chasers, you look at a Kane, what's the point of this card now? And I get they are easy, more obtainable, but now you've got a 2 rateds higher, double extra playstyle plus. It makes no sense to have any version. Same with Schlotterbeck. I might as well just go for the 21k one at this point, especially when players are going to get evolutions at already a 91 rating. So unfortunately for him, he's kind of fallen into that trap of the little bit lower of a rating card. We also have got Gittins, I think it's Jamie, coming in as the highlight, probably the better highlight this time around. Obviously 93 rated, quick step, tiki-taka, Travella. It could have been better, really could have been better. I think pace-wise is going to be exceptional. He did get a future star this year, so it's already an interesting one that he's 2 ratings higher, 1 extra playstyle. They did obviously take away the Trickster, which I'm absolutely all for. I just don't want the Trickster, to be honest. So I do think he's going to, again, come in more the usable player. I don't think he goes up one more. I think the playstyles and maybe just a bit better stats, in my opinion. The passing needs to be a little bit higher. The shooter needs to go a little bit more crazy. So he's kind of more of a contained left wing. Which then leads me to the keepers. Now, keepers have been an interesting one, to be honest, because I don't know if it's just a personal name preference. I just think when you kind of go for keepers in this game, you naturally go for the ones you know. You go for the icons, the Van der Sars, the Buffons now. It used to be Czech, obviously Schmeichel. But then the keepers, it used to be Courtois, it's Neuer, it's Alisson, it's Edison, it's De Gea back in the day. Then obviously Casillas was a big name. And you'd throw out one or two and you'd know who they are. Handanovic was another fantastic one. Summer, even, to be honest. We have had not one keeper that has been one of them big names in terms of the past 5 years. So it's kind of been difficult to really put my name on one of them, to be honest. I don't know who I want to commit to be fair. Obviously the Bundesliga, it's a bit more interesting because he's 6'4" as well, which is nice. But the fact that I don't have any Bundesliga players in my team yet, so he's not going to get the links. Now, obviously, James Trafford's going to be a fantastic one if you've got the English or icons in there at 6'4" as well. And then you've got Sells, who could have been another great one at 6'2". It is a shame because personally, I'm so used to the likes of a Van der Sar Courtois at 6'6". That's kind of what I go for. So I'm still rocking the 90 Courtois still. So for me, I think you probably could get a very usable out of him. I don't think he's a terrible keeper. And to be honest, keepers are what you make them, to be fair. I don't think there's necessarily a bad keeper at this point, unless you're going for a bog standard gold. Naturally, most keepers, I just get passed around anyway. And obviously being out for 1 day, we've got the first SBC. It's going to be Frimpong 95. Finally, this guy gets an upgrade. We obviously got the, what is this version? It's the honorable, no, it was this one. We got the UCL Road to the Knockouts, literally on day dot, got to that 90, and that was it. We needed an upgrade. We had no playstyle pluses for him. Now we obviously can get a playstyle, but that has been so long in the makings. We did get an honorable mentions with the jockey, but finally we get the big upgrade for him. He got a massive shooting upgrade. Obviously the physical's up there, the defending's up there. He's a very good right back for the price. Now, we did get a Kenny Lala from the premium season pass, so whether you'd have preferred to have done that one, it's always an interesting one to say the least. But in general, I think he's a solid right back, not necessarily my favourite. I think he could have potentially been the top meta-esque type, but I think with a quick step and technical, it's not my personal preference. I don't really go for attacking wingbacks, but there is attacking wingbacks that can still play that fullback role. As much as I love Frimpong, and I think he's going to have very use for everywhere, I think he could have got better playstyle pluses. So, unfortunately for me, he is going to be dropped down to more the very usable, because stats-wise, he's still going to be an incredible right back. But I do think I had him more pegged towards a top meta, if anything. Now, another one going to the other side, bit of Alphonso Davies. Now, again, you've got the quick step, which is absolutely fine. I'm fine with the quick step. I'm fine with the technical. If he just has one, when you've only got a triple and not a quadruple, having that extra is absolutely massive. So for me, I personally would have just at least one running type. Then having the jockey, fantastic. And a pinged pass, better, brilliant. I love it. Go for the attacking, the defending, the passing, the running, whatever you need, just have one of them. But at least having a decent defensive one, which he does in the anticipate. But the jockey's going to do wonders for an Alphonso as well. I don't necessarily think he's going to be necessarily taking over a Teo when he gets into a team of the season, if he gets into a team of the season, but as a left back goes, he's got to put himself up there, to be honest. He really does. Now, obviously, centre-back wise, we've got two massive juggernauts in this, Upamecano and a 97 tar. I did not see that one coming. A stunning centre-back, someone to most definitely rival Virgil van Dijk, and he does it very, very nicely. Anticipate, bruiser, power header, could have gone aerial, and then obviously the pinged pass I'm okay with. Like I say, if he's got the quadruple, at least have 2 or 3 very good playstyle pluses. Very good stats nonetheless. Defending, yes. Physical, pace. Could do with a bit more on the passing side of stuff when it comes to... I'm just joking with you. He's got 97. He's fantastic when it comes to a centre-back. And if we do kind of compare him to the likes of a Virgil, we're looking at 5.8, and to be honest, long ball pass. He's got himself the aerial rather than the power header, so it's very similar. Obviously, passing-wise, technically Tar does better on the short game, just saying. Defending, physical, very similar. Agility balance does go Tar, thank you very much, but I think 6'4", I don't know if Tar was 6'2" there. Pace-wise, very similar as well. So you're getting yourself a very good centre-back nonetheless. 6'5", wow. Agility balance on him. It would be an interesting comparison to go with them side by side, but in general, very, very good centre-back. So you can kind of guess where he's going. Upamecano, though, has been, to be honest, he's been there for a while now. He's definitely had a few nice cards over his career from obviously the team of the season moments, I want to say last year. Then obviously into the Shapeshifters the year before in the CAM. Try that card out. And then obviously prior to that we had the move to Bayern Munich. But this is a version that he can definitely be happy with. Aerial, bruiser, block, fantastic. Pace, yes. Defending, yes. Physical, yes. Passing, absolutely yes. And then the dribbling to go with it. Only tweak, bit of composure. 90 summit plus, we kind of need at this point, but we could still make it work. It definitely could still fight with the balls, to be honest. Now, I do think there's only one room for a centre-back at the top, especially if we are looking in the comparison to a Virgil van Dijk. I think he is absolutely prime and ready, but I do think the composure will be a little bit of an issue in the absolute elite division. It's going to be the pressure scenario. Who do you want in there? A 97 composure or an 89? I can tell you which one I want. If they've both got the stats, the playstyle pluses, it comes down to that final touch, in my opinion anyway. Schick, now another cheap striker who's made it onto the main roster, 63,000. I'm surprised Hugo or obviously Guriassi didn't make this list, but 95 rating, I suppose they do go by rating. We've got the rapid, the low driven, the finesse. I mean, already it screams cheap beast. And remember, last year, very good card. The year before, even this version, very nice card for the price that he came in, the rating that he came in, and when he came into the game. This is no different. 95 rated, great playstyle pluses, great pace, great shooting, passing, it's a good amount, we take it. Dribbling wise, fantastic. Physicality, yes please. Everything you need from him. You throw a hawk on him, controlled lengthy still. Look at that striker. Very cheap, very affordable, very much going into the very usable. Which leads us to the final two. We have got a Kimmich versus a Grimaldo. Now obviously Grimaldo with a team of the year. He's had a very interesting path. It's 158,000, has kind of been taken over by an Alphonso Davies this time round. Now, obviously, the difference between the team of the year and the team of the season, both have quick step. One has obviously relentless, the other one has the whipped pass, which, to be honest, I mean, I always like having the whipped pass as an extra rather than a relentless. the whipped pass realistically isn't that useful other than just another passing tool. You can't volley off it or header off it because it doesn't go in, ever. And maybe if the keeper's moved, that's potentially. But realistically, it's a passing tool more than anything. I would rather have that than Relentless. And the intercept versus the slide tackle, not too much in it, to be honest. I think he's average. It's an average upgrade. They haven't gone too crazy with the team of the year this year for their team of the season. Now, obviously, there's going to be a few that maybe don't warrant such a good team of the season. Obviously, Bayern Munich winning it is the big shout. Bayer Leverkusen last year winning it was a massive shout for a big team of the season. This year, not as much. And finally, we have got Kimmich, an absolute juggernaut of the scene. He has been in this for generations, and I am gutted that Footbin have taken all of these generations off, but Kimmich and Goretzka have been a staple of Bundesliga midfield. The German duo in this team of the season has been incredible. It is a shame we don't see them again. Hopefully Goretzka does manage to get into an Evo or does get something during footies to get these back together, but what a midfielder once more, a DM that is well worth having a look at. Anticipate, incisive, press proven, stats up there. He's a brilliant CDM. He's not necessarily going to be an outstanding kind of Rodri-esque type, but he is consistent. He's a consistent upgrade, he's a consistent player, and he's most definitely going in that very usable. That's going to be the Bundesliga for right now. Let me know down below what you think about them. Who's your best player pack so far? Make sure you subscribe, and Super League will come out tomorrow. Peace!